Good afternoon, and welcome to the UR College Bound Show. If you're tuning in, that probably means that you are college bound. And of course, for all of our pre-college students in Upward Bound and Talent Search, we know you are college bound, and we're glad you're here today. It is Friday, April 24th, 2020, so happy Arbor Day, everybody. For those who don't know, Arbor Day is a holiday to celebrate trees and to encourage planting and taking care of trees. And it's also the third day of a three-day Earth Day celebration going on this year, but more to come later on that one. So first of all, let's see who's here. If you're here and want to get attendance credit and earn some college bound points for our Upward Bound and Talent Search students, go ahead and drop your name in the chat. Or you can also text your name to 585-301-4488. You could also email it to upwardbound@ur.rochester.edu. So plenty of ways to get credit for attending today and participating. Okay, see we got a student checking in here. Anyone else, go ahead, drop your name in the chat. If you're not one of our students, but you want to let everyone know you're here, you're welcome to do that also. So go ahead, drop your name in the chat. See who's tuning in today. Looks like we got a decent amount watching today. Not a huge crowd just yet. Hopefully some more will be tuning in later. But as I said, you do get 15 college bound points for attending the show today. All you have to do is tell us your full name. So drop it in the chat. You can text it, email it, and you get 15 college bound points. For our Upward Bound and Talent Search students, we do have some good incentives you can earn with those college bound points. We have different swag items, clothing, and other items we'll be giving away later in the year once we get back all together. We have some trips to visit colleges in different parts of the country coming up in the fall and next spring. And the points you earn this month and moving forward through the summer those are what are going to help you qualify for those trips. So the more points you can get, the better. Should be shooting for 100 per month, but with the different programming we have going on, should not be too hard to earn those points. And you get 15 right here today. Apparently the Mac Armel has returned. He's here today. Quanda Don is tuned in. We have a staff member watching today, and she said you guys are funny. We're laughing with you, not at you. All right, so we're going to start with a few announcements. But before we get to that, please remember that we do encourage participation on social media. So URTrioWorks, that's the hashtag. If you want to post about the show on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, go ahead and hashtag it. And if we see any good tweets or posts out there, we'll share them later in the show. So the hashtag is URTrioWorks. As most of you know, or hopefully know, we have gone virtual with all of our Upward Bound and Talent Search programming. That includes our weekly UR College Bound show. It also includes our advising. Your Upward Bound or Talent Search advisor has probably already been contacting you by text, phone, social media, email. So of course we do want to keep connected and make sure we're supporting you in whatever way we can. We also have some other programming and activities going on. We have our Level Up programming going on, mostly on Instagram, where there's a different challenge each day, and we encourage you to participate in that. We also have Book Club. We have Coding Club. We have an Art Club now. All good ways for you to earn some college-bound points, but hopefully those are fun activities. And of course, very important, we have our UR Success Academy every Tuesday and Thursday from 3 to 5 p.m. We have plenty of tutors available who can help with any class. And even though we're not in school, we do expect that you're still trying to learn, still being scholars, preparing yourselves for college. And of course, we have tutors to help with that. Someone else checked in here. Yami is here. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Oh, someone gave us a thumbs up already. Thank you. We appreciate that. Feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on our other videos that we do live, some pre-recorded. But we're trying to put some good content on there for you. So just to reiterate, in case anyone missed it, just to reiterate, plenty of programming available for you. It is all virtual, so it's not quite the same as in person, but we do want to make sure we have offerings for you and we have ways to help you. Like I said, UR Success Academy, the UR College Bound Show, our weekly advising, art club, coding club, book club, all available for you. So please participate, and easy to earn those 100 College Bound points per month, which should be your goal, but you just got to participate. So earn those 100 points per month. That's right. Thank you, Yami. Appreciate you for that. Who else we got here? Clarence is checking in. We got a Upward Bound alum checking in. Thanks for joining us today, Clarence. And Yami, I did see you drop your name in the chat. So yes, you get credit for attending today. And you probably saw Marifer's comment. Please, let's be respectful to each other in the chat, please. We don't want to have to shut the chat off. We do like to have that interaction. As far as those College Bound points, for those that didn't hear, we already have some incentives for students based on College Bound points earned from the beginning of the school year up through the end of March. So here are our College Bound MVPs based on the school year up until March, but these students have all earned themselves a nice little Grubhub treat. We will be Grubhubbing you some tasty food straight to your door, and be ready for that. But Idalis Castro Lopez from Monroe, Jason Cow from Wilson, Cody Siricampone from Vanguard Collegiate High School, and Aroma Dulal from East High School. So those are the 4 College Bound points MVPs for the first part of the school year. But you could be next. Armel, Emmanuel, Jaquan, whoever else is watching, you could be next. So make sure you're earning those College Bound points. We do have an interview with a special alum who's joined us today, and I'm going to bring him on in a couple minutes, but I know some people have been curious about what's going on with the summer. So for those who don't know, the summer is also going to be a virtual program, a virtual summer program. Safety is our top priority for our students and for our staff and everyone. So we do not want to bring a big group of people onto the U of R campus during the summer. The U of R is actually not even allowing it for safety concerns. So there will be no classes, no programming actually in person on campus at the U of R this summer. But we're still going to have our summer program. It's going to be virtual. It's going to be online. So it'll be a little bit different, but it actually gives us the opportunity to do some new things, potentially connecting with Upward Bound programs in other parts of the state, around the country. So we're excited, and we hope you are too. Like I said, with the College Bound points that you earn through the rest of this spring, as well as through July and August, that's going to determine who's going on the trips in the fall and next spring. We will be having our big DC trip next spring, along with some other trips, but for the 10th graders watching today, and any other students watching today, unless you're in 12th grade, you do have a chance to qualify for some good trips and other incentives. So make sure you're earning those points. And yes, it is going to be a virtual summer program for the reason I said. But we, of course, will have some great offerings for the students, something similar to the past, but a lot of new things, new opportunities. So stay tuned. We'll be giving you more information as we move forward. Checking the comments here. Clarence, yes, I'm sorry, you're already in college, Clarence. I can't give you College Bound points. Maybe successful career bound points or grad school bound points. We'll have to think of something for our alumni, but thank you, Clarence. All right, looks like I think I did answer the question about the summer program. So we're going to move forward here. It looks like we do have one more question. Are the trips going to be online too? Let's see, I'll answer that in 2 sections. During the summer, there will not be any in-person trips. We can't get together on the U of R campus. It's a U of R program. We're not going to be able to like try to do something secret and get everyone together for a trip or outside. So nothing during the summer. The trips in the fall and the spring, we are planning on those being in person. I can't say for sure now because at this point it has not officially been decided that we can resume everything back to normal in the fall. But the plan is for the fall and the spring trips in 2021 to be in-person trips. During the summer, we are going to do some college visits virtually. We'll let you know more about that when we get closer to the summer. So I'm going to bring on our alumni guest today. He is a graduate of East High School, class of 2019, currently studying at Rochester Institute of Technology, or he's a student there, really studying from home because the campus is closed like the U of R and like other colleges. But he's in his first year as a student at RIT. Will be graduating from RIT in 2023, and that's Xavier Rivera. Here he is. So Xavier, to start, let me ask, how are you doing, and how's your family doing?
My family's doing fine. I would prefer to be on campus right now, but that's not allowed.
And sorry, that's
And
pretty much
sorry,
the
that's
state of things
pretty much the state of
at
things
colleges
at colleges
around the country.
around the country. Okay.
So let me start by
So
asking you,
let me
Xavier,
start by asking
what was your
Xavier,
favorite part
what was your
of
favorite
your
part
first year at
of your
college,
first year?
or and also your least favorite part?
Um, I don't know. I guess my favorite part was the freedom that I had there. Um, it was nice to be able to do whatever, pretty much responsibly. Um, my least favorite thing, not really sure. I don't know. I guess some people can be pretty loud at night, like in the middle of the night. It could be like 2 a.m. People's just loud.
Okay, I can imagine the people being loud in the middle of the night could be annoying. This is in the dorms, I take it.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, as far as how you ended up at RIT, what were the biggest factors in deciding that you wanted to go to RIT?
Um. Well, I was really interested in like a computer major, like computer science or software engineering or something along that line. So I really searched for like colleges that offered good programs in that. The U of R upper bound really helped me with that during 11th, 10th grade, and they gave me a really good financial package as well. They covered my whole tuition.
Well, I would bet that full tuition made a difference. And from what I know, RIT is very well known for the software engineering and their other engineering programs. So it makes sense to me that you would want to go there. And I'm glad that our Upward Bound staff was able to be helpful with that. Now, a question about college and what your experience has been like this year. What was it like making your own schedule of classes, and is there actually a lot more freedom in college?
Yeah, you pretty much can choose whatever you want. So it was really nice to do because I chose like when my classes were and um, what classes I wanted. So like the first semester I didn't have any classes on Tuesday or Thursday. I only had one class those days and they were really short. And then this semester I was done pretty much after like 3 every day, which is pretty nice.
So on those days when you're done early, or those days when you don't even have classes, how do you usually use that time?
I use that time to like do some work or study or something, or just kind of relax and unwind from all the class work and stuff.
Okay. Now, as far as having more freedom, do you feel like there's a lot more freedom in college? And if so, how has it been adjusting to having more freedom and being more independent?
Well, there is a lot more freedom. There's nobody really there to like watch you, make sure you're doing your work like in high school. So, you have to make sure that you're on top of things so you don't fall behind or anything. Um, yeah. So, I just make sure that I'm keeping track of what I have to get done and I make sure I do it on time.
Okay. Any tips or strategies for how to stay on top of your work and making sure you get it done on time, or any techniques that worked well for you?
Usually using like a planner helps. Writing like notes or sticky notes down to make sure that you know what you have to do. Just kind of planning ahead when you're gonna do something.
Okay. So using a planner, sticky notes, planning ahead. That all sounds good. How about what are some places you like to hang out at on campus?
Um, I've been to like the cafe a couple of times. Usually I just kind of hang in my dorm. The library I go there every once in a while, not a lot.
Okay. So just hanging out in the dorm, the cafe, going to the library sometimes. For the students and others watching, go ahead. Feel free to go ahead and drop any questions you'd like Xavier to answer. Go ahead, drop them in the chat, and I'm sure he'll be happy to answer your questions about college, about his experience so far at RIT, just in his first year there. How about what kind of other activities are you involved in outside of your classes at RIT?
Um, I've done archery. I think that's pretty fun.
So what do you shoot? Well, I'm assuming you're
Uh,
shooting a bow and arrow, but like, wow. Tell us a little bit more about that. What do you got shooting deer or something? What are you doing?
oh no, it's just targets in the gym mainly. It was kind of cut short because the whole thing.
Okay, so you had just started doing that in the spring semester, and then it got cut short.
Yeah.
Okay. How about is there anything you found, or what have you found most surprising about RIT or about being a college student? Like anything, what was something unexpected or surprising?
Well, I don't. I guess what I find surprising is you can really tell how different a lot of people were raised when you get to college. Like, there's a lot like big differences when I got there, and it's just kind of some things were just kind of wild to me.
Okay. Can you give us any example you can give?
Um, I don't know, kind of like the way some people act. It kind of like they kind of act like some people don't have manners. Some people you can kind of tell that they were given like they don't really have that much structure growing up. But we're all raised different, and you just got to make sure that you know how to conduct yourself. In the real world.
Okay. Okay. So we got a couple questions from our viewers here. First from Clarence. How was it rooming with someone you know besides a stranger?
Uh, I really liked rooming with my friend. We got along well, and nothing really bad happened. We're gonna, if there's in-person classes next semester, we're gonna room again.
And for those who don't know, is this a friend you already knew from high school, or someone you who became your friend outside of school, or became your friend at RIT?
Oh yeah, we went to high school together.
Okay. Okay. Well, another dorm question here. This one from Mel. Just more in general, what's living in a dorm like? I know you've mentioned a few things, but in general, what's it like?
It's nice. It can be kind of small sometimes, if you have like a bigger room. But I lived in like a suite, so it was like there was a door, and then there was like a small hallway, and then there was my door, our neighbor's door, and then a bathroom. So we had our own bathroom, and it was only six of us to a bathroom because on the other side of the bathroom there's another room. So it's better than like having to share a bathroom with the hallway. But that's just because of where I was staying.
Okay, so it sounds like you kind of were fortunate with the bathroom situation you ended up in the dormitory where you are or where you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Here's another question. This is a good question from Jaquan. How hard is it managing your time?
There's some times where it's easy, and there's other times where it's harder. Like you can have like a week where you hit with like three projects and other assignments. Sometimes there's nothing going on that week. You just kind of gotta make sure you kind of um, think ahead sometimes. It can be stressful, it can be tough, but there's a lot of different things on campus that can help you with managing your time. Keeping a planner is helpful. There's people that can actually help you manage your time if you really need it. But you just got to make sure you keep on top of things and don't procrastinate. Even though I tend to procrastinate a lot, but that just helps if you keep track of what you have to do. Try to do it as soon as possible.
Okay, yeah, I think all of us can procrastinate at times, but it sounds like you found some ways to manage your time and not doing too much procrastination. Now we have a follow-up question from Kavon. She says, "You're lucky. Rooming with friends usually doesn't work out. Kudos to y'all. If you do have any disagreements, how do you work through that as friends?"
Mm. Me and Dennis, we rarely have any disagreements, so I don't know. There's not really that many disagreements, but we just kind of talk if there is any disagreements. Things usually just work out for us, but that's not the same for everybody.
Right, okay. Well, I would agree that you are fortunate that you can work things out. Sometimes if you're friends and then all of a sudden you're living together, sometimes things change, but it sounds like it's working well. Another question from Kavon. How often did you visit home, or did your family visit you since you are local?
I think I only visited during Thanksgiving break.
Okay, so just in the fall semester, just the one time during Thanksgiving break?
Yeah, I stood on campus for spring break.
Okay. And how was that with your family? Did that seem to work well with them? How did they feel?
They're fine.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. All right. Well, I'm going to keep you for maybe one or two more questions. If students, those watching, if you have any more questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat now. But I'll ask one more, and then we'll see. This may be the last one, or we'll see if any other questions get asked. But my final question for you, Xavier, what is a piece of advice you would give to our high school students? And I'll say that today our show is especially for 10th grade students today. So if you can imagine yourself or imagine your friends and classmates back when you were in 10th grade, what advice would you give them knowing all that you do now?
Okay. So in 10th grade, I started like making my college list in 10th grade. I was making sure that I was on top of my grades because it really does count a lot starting in ninth grade. So you just gotta make sure you work as hard as you can now. Try to put your best effort in now, and just kind of try to plan ahead. I'm not saying you have to like know everything now, but start like thinking about like one or two colleges, maybe three. Look at their requirements and just kind of get a feel for what you want to do because you still have 11th and 12th grade to think about it, but it's better to kind of start now because it gives you a little heads up, a little head start if you work hard and think about what to do now.
Huh? That's great advice. Thank you. So plan ahead. 10th graders, it's not too early to start building that college list and looking at the requirements that those colleges have, and of course, staying on top of your grades. So, great advice. Thank you, Xavier. We appreciate you joining us today, and good luck with the rest of the semester and moving forward. Hope to talk to you again sometime soon.
Okay.
There's our studio audience going wild for Xavier. So, we're happy to have him on today. Next up, we have a staff member who's going to come on the show. You all know her. She's one of our academic advisors, works mainly at Wilson High School, but just like all of our other staff, available to assist and support all of our Upward Bound and Talent Search students. And she's going to share some very important information with you today. So make sure that you are listening carefully. Just taking a look at the chat here. We got one more comment here from our assistant director, Kevon Henry, about what Xavier said. Get a feel for what you want to do. Good advice, and we appreciate that advice coming from Xavier. Did very well in high school. Now he's doing his thing at RIT, and we're proud of him, and we really are so happy to see how well he's doing, and we're happy that he joined us today. Clarence, sorry I did not see your question in time for him, but we're going to keep moving. So next I'm going to bring on Felicia Heidemann, one of our academic advisors. But before I do that, I just saw we have one more comment from Xavier, because he's watching on YouTube, even though he's not talking with us anymore. I was in a summer program at RIT before classes, so that really helped me adjust. So I didn't find it difficult to adjust. Thank you for mentioning that, Xavier. A lot of colleges do have summer programs prior to starting that freshman year, and those can be very valuable. So we hope you students will take advantage of those opportunities. But now, without further ado, I'm going to bring on Felicia. Felicia, how are you doing today?
Hey, Brady. I'm doing good. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday. You ready to share this important information with the students today?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready with the information.
Okay, great. So here's what we're going to do. Felicia has some great important information to share with you, so I'm going to pull it up on the screen here. Okay. So Felicia, you can take it away.
All right, awesome. So I wanted to talk to everyone today about how to find some really good sources when we're doing online research or when we're looking at news articles or when we're learning for school or for yourself. There's a lot of information, and now that a lot of us are now online and we have access to so much information, sometimes it's hard to filter out what can be really credible or reliable. And since I know a lot of you are doing homework and doing research and looking things up, I thought this might be some helpful tips. So first and foremost, you want to look and see, what does the website end in? A majority of websites you probably know end in .com, but actually domains or websites that end in .com, .org, and .net, they actually can be purchased by anybody. So if I wanted to, I could make, if it was available, I can make a .com about any subject matter. So you want to pay attention to what you're going to on the site. And then you want to look for sites, especially if it's school related, that end in .edu or .gov. .edu is reserved for colleges and universities, so people who are doing research and putting out factual information. And .gov is a government website, which you can also look to for really good factual information. .org is another one that I know some people look to, and those are pretty hit or miss in the fact that they are used by nonprofit organizations. So you want to think that, yeah, they're really good, reliable information, but remember, if it's a nonprofit, then they have a specific cause they want to support. So don't automatically think that the information might be wrong or incorrect, but just know that they have a goal they want to meet. So they would show you the best information to support their own goal. The second thing to look at is when the information was written or updated. I remember in high school one time I got in trouble because I used a source that was from the 1960s. And they were like, Felicia, that's really old. So you want to find more relevant and up-to-date information. An example is if you're doing any research about even COVID-19, information that came out March 16th might be not as good or not as informative as information that came out March 20th, because in some instances, the more that you look at the news and the more that things come out, more accurate and more up-to-date information comes out. So you want to always check the date and see if it's still relevant or if you could find something more relevant. Number 3 is, are there any bias or opinions the site author would have? So looking again back at the nonprofits, they have a goal they want to reach. Or if somebody has this opinion and they're like, no, I think everyone should be this way, or they work for a specific company, or if they have a specific, almost like an agenda that they want to reach, their information might not be as accurate or might not be as relevant for you. So you always want to look at who is writing the site and what they might have or what kind of motive they might have in giving this information. And then last but not least, who or what are their sources? If they don't have any source, but it's, somebody who has a blog that says, oh, everybody needs to eat chicken nuggets to stay healthy, but this person works for a chicken nugget company and it's just one person and he hasn't have any sources cited, or if his only source is the chicken company website, that might not be the best information if you are writing a paper or you're trying to find out information on, are the chicken nuggets actually healthy for me? So you want to look at all four of these aspects when you're looking at either a news site, an online resource, even when maybe you're looking at a paper resource if you have a book. So I'm going to show you one of our most widely used sites, I feel like, because everyone's talking about it, Wikipedia. So Brady, if you could bring up the Wikipedia website, please.
My pleasure, Felicia. I'll bring it up. It's up now.
All right, awesome. So Brady, if you start scrolling, we pulled up the global warming website, and there's a lot of information on here, right? The problem with Wikipedia, because you're like, I have all the information I need right here. It's a great tool. I don't have to go anywhere else. I got my sources, my essays done. The problem is that anyone can go on Wikipedia and change the information. So if I decided I had an opinion or I wanted to put false information, there are ways that people can do that. So Wikipedia is not a good source to use, especially when it's coming to schoolwork, or if you're trying to get a really good formed opinion about something. But at the bottom of Wikipedia's page is actually a really good tool to get you started if you're lost with wanting to learn about a specific topic. So if I wanted to learn about the environment, maybe I don't trust Wikipedia's website, like the content per se, but at the bottom, there's a lot of different resources available. So looking at the things I want to make sure I have in my online research, I can look for a website or an article that is accredited to .edu, .gov, or maybe it's to a government agency or a reliable resource that I would trust with this information. I can also see when the resource is available. So I might go for something that's 2019 or 2020 versus something available or updated in 2010. And I can then click on the resource, and hopefully by reading it or by knowing what agency, who wrote the source, I'll know if there's any bias I need to look for. So while we don't recommend Wikipedia itself as a tool to cite, it can start you on a really good journey of finding good resources and bring you to factual information. Another thing is, Brady, let's do a little Google search, see how we can find some good resources there.
Let's do it. What do you want me to search for, Felicia?
Let's stick with this climate change. It's the theme of the week. We got Earth Day, Arbor Day.
Okay, so we have some top stories that came up. We have some websites that came up.
Yeah. So I know that when I typically look up climate change, the news stories come up, and then you can evaluate the news stories based on, do you know they come from a more conservative or maybe a more liberal-leaning news site? But I usually, thankfully, have sources come up that are like NASA.gov or other government agencies, or the UN comes up, an agency I would trust on this information.
The first two on the list are climate.nasa.gov. Then we have the IPCC. We have the UN. So those are the first ones that come up here.
Yeah, wow. So I guess we got really lucky, Brady, because sometimes when you Google things, these sorts of stuff don't come up. So Brady, can you bring up Google Scholar for me, please?
Sure. Google Scholar. Should we do a search
All
here?
right. Yeah, let's do a climate change search here.
All right, searching for climate change. All right, we have something called Mitigation of Climate Change. We have a book called Avoiding Dangerous Climate Change, a PDF, Climate Change, the IPCC Scientific Assessment, another IPCC Special Report, and then we have more if I keep going here.
Perfect. Yeah, so Google Scholar is a really good resource, especially if you're writing essays for class and you need some more resources. Google Scholar has a special search system, so they look for databases, like if any of you have ever used JSTOR at school. They also have the ability to look through .edu, .gov. They bring up books and things like that, so that's a really, really good resource. And if you ever have to find papers or information for papers, or you're trying to research a presentation for class, instead of maybe going straight to Wikipedia, I would actually suggest you go to Google Scholar. And then you will have a lot more of those safeties in terms of figuring out what the website ends in, when the information is updated, because you can look at the date pretty quick and know that for a majority of the time you would be able to figure out if there was any bias or any agenda in the writing. Brady, I see that we have a comment that says, doesn't Wikipedia have fact checkers? And that's a really good point. So Wikipedia, I believe, does have fact checkers, but honestly, they're not going to catch everything. So you don't know if someone went in and put some false information, and it takes some time for the fact checkers to catch it, especially if it's in a really long document, like we saw the global warming and climate change has a lot of information. So it takes a while to go through that. So yeah, they do have fact checkers, but that's why we would want you to look more at like the sources that the people bring in rather than the information itself. That's a good question.
Yep, good question, Armel. Anything else you'd like to point out for us today, Felicia?
Nope, that's it. Just as you're doing a lot of online resource, whether it's for school or for yourself, try to have these things in mind. That way you're getting the best, most accurate information possible, because we all want to make sure we're saying the right thing.
Great. Well, thank you, Felicia, for joining us today. We appreciate that information, and enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, everyone, too. Have a great weekend.
Let's give it up. Our live studio audience, giving it up for Felicia. So, students, please remember that, or do your best to remember as much of that as you can. Important information, not just as high school students, but when you go on to be doing research in college. The importance of credible sources. Very important. So we're going to take a short break for a few messages, and then we'll be back. I'll see you on the flip side.
Hi everyone, this is Catherine with a few announcements about book club. First, if you're not part of our book club but are interested in participating in the next round, keep your eye on our Instagram next week, as we will be doing bracket-style voting to decide what our next book will be. If you are part of our book club, this is a reminder that you need to read to page 164 by our next meeting on this upcoming Wednesday. Thank you and happy reading!
Hi, this is Danielle, here to encourage all of you to give Online Coding Club a try. This semester, the goal is for everyone who participates to complete a playable arcade game by June. This is an example of the type of game you can create. I didn't create this one from scratch, rather I just modified it. As you can see, the code consists of blocks that snap together rather than a bunch of text. So this is a really great way for you to start if you don't have much coding experience. So this is a platformer game, and I'm really bad at platformers on a good day, and I'm going to try to do this while I talk to you. The creator of this game animated the player so that its appearance change when it moves. So if you can see it face left and face right, it looks slightly different, while the enemies don't change and aren't animated. Not too bad. Let's see if I can make it to the end of this level. Yeah, I just normally run screaming through levels rather than trying to stop and collect everything. But if you are interested in joining me for Coding Club, you can contact UR College Bound staff at 585 301 4488. Or you can go ahead and get started on the self paced modules, and the links are included here. On Saturday, I will host live Zoom classes at 2 p.m. to help you with this material. So this is a great way for you to earn college bound points, and I hope to see you this weekend. Thanks.
Hi, do you need help with
Writing,
Spanish,
SAT math,
SAT prep for ELA,
algebra,
geometry,
chemistry,
global history,
biology?
then come to tutoring.
Let's learn together.
And we're back. We hope you enjoyed those messages from our sponsors. We did get another comment from Kevon here that I'd like to share. Thanking Felicia, but also reminding you to check all of your sources. Same thing applies when sharing and resharing things on social media or sharing something you hear from another person. So it's not just at school where credible sources is important. Let's move on. Next up, we have everyone's favorite part of the show, besides the ads. Marifer loves the ads. But besides the ads, which were the best commercials ever, and they even convinced our Mel that he may need to join the book club. But besides those clubs and ads, everyone's favorite part of the show, of course, SAT questions of the week. We're going to start with math. Y'all know how to do this. I'm going to go ahead and start the clock. 2 minutes for this one. Text the answer to 585-301-4488 or email it to upwardbound@ur.rochester.edu. 5 college bound points if you get it correctly before the time limit is up. If you wait until after the time's up and I show the answer, not giving you 5 points for that. But 2 minutes, that's a little bit more than you'd get on the test, but considering that we have a 20-second delay with the feed, giving you a little bit extra time. But here's a math question. This is from the SAT test, the section where you do not get a calculator, so please try to do this without a calculator. If a squared plus 14a equals 51 and a is greater than 0, what is the value of a plus 7? Little algebra here. And Chris said she seriously loves ads. Thank you, Chris. Clarence said his major doesn't require math. Well, it looks like no grad school bound points for you, Clarence, for this question. But even if your major does not require it, or even if you don't like math, you're still welcome to take a shot, participate. No penalty for getting the wrong answer. Let me check, see if anyone emailed it or texted anything yet. Okay. Jaquan, what you sent me is not the correct answer, but nice try. "20 seconds. Text the answer to 585-301-4488. Email to upwardbound@ur.rochester.edu. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up. Time is up. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let me get out of the way so you can see this here. Well, actually, there's 2 parts because there are a couple different ways you could solve this. Jordan, I'm sorry this is hurting your brain. Yeah, That's why we're giving you these questions, so you could exercise that brain, because we know you've been out of school for a minute. So thanks for tuning in. And yes, Mary, and all of us, we do appreciate everyone who's at least given it a try. We appreciate you, Jordan. Thank you. For the solution, the answer is 10. The answer is 10. A student can apply standard techniques by rewriting the equation a squared plus 14a equals 51 as a squared plus 14a minus 51 equals 0, and then factoring. Since the coefficient of a is 14 and the constant term is negative 51, factoring a squared plus 14a minus 51 equals 0 requires writing 51 as the product of two numbers that differ by 14. Since 51 equals 3 times 17, which gives the factorization of a squared plus 14a minus 51 equals the quantity a plus 17 times the quantity a minus 3 equals 0. So the possible values of a are negative 17 and 3. It was given that a must be greater than 0, so that means a is 3, and then the value of a plus 7 is 3 plus 7, that equals 10. So the answer is 10. Let me get out of the way here so you can see another way to do it. There's also the quadratic formula method, which for some may be easier. You fill in the a, b, and c values in the formula, figure it out. You see that on the right side of the screen, and then down at the bottom right corner it shows you how you get that answer 10 using the quadratic formula. So that's how that one works. Mel got it, 10, after about 3 or 4 minutes. So good job. Just work on getting that speed up, Mel, so you can get some points. Let's move on to the next question. Next up, we got some ELA. This is one of those writing questions where you have to decide if the underlined part should stay the same or needs to be changed. Get a minute and a half for this one. A little bit less time, because on the SAT, the time you get for the writing questions ends up being a little bit less. So a minute and a half for this one. If you think you have the answer, text it to 585-301-4488 or email it to upwardbound@ur.rochester.edu. About 1 minute to get that answer. So take a look here. We have the underlined part of the sentence. They design. You have to decide if you should leave it as is, then the answer would be A, no change, or if you should change it to B, to design, C, designing, or D, design. Students, you're welcome to just take a guess if you don't know what it is. No penalty for guessing on the SAT or the ACT, so take a guess. Jaquan took a guess. May or may not be right. If you're right, Jaquan, I'll give you the points. If you're wrong, no points, but no penalty for guessing. 30 seconds. The work of transportation planners generally includes evaluating current transportation needs, assessing the effectiveness of existing facilities, and improving those facilities, or they design new ones. A, no change. B, to design. C, designing. D, design. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up. Time is up. So, Jaquan said the answer is C. See if he got it right. Ding, 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 ding. Nice job, Jaquan. You got it right. We'll give you those 5 college bound points. The answer is C. Let me get out of the way here so you can see this. Choice C is the best answer because designing maintains parallelism with evaluating, assessing, and improving. Choice A, B, and D do not maintain that parallelism. So the answer is C. Nice job, Jaquan. So 5 college bound points for Jaquan, and that is our SAT question of the day. Now, for more SAT practice, feel free to go on Khan Academy. It's free. You can log in using any Google account, like your school Google account. And we do have a Khan Academy class set up for 10th graders. The code is GMKYASA6. So all you have to do is log on to Khan Academy, go to join a class, put in that code. You'll be in our class, and you can get 5 college bound points for each hour you spend using Khan Academy, whether that's for SAT prep or it could also be for doing some learning related to math, relating to your other classes at school. So another easy way to rack up those college bound points and to get yourselves ready for the PSAT, which you'll be taking in the fall, and then the SAT, which for current 10th graders, you'll be taking that about a year from now. So Khan Academy, check that out. So as I said earlier, happy Arbor Day and happy Earth Day. Today is Arbor Day. Earth Day was a couple of days ago, April 22nd. But people around the world are actually doing a 3-day Earth Day celebration this year. And the theme is climate action. So they're raising awareness of climate change and encouraging people, governments, leaders to take action on climate change. So there's actually an Earth Day live feed that's been going on since Wednesday. I want to just take a look at that now, very briefly, just to see what's going on. So let's take a look.
They can sponsor our resolution by recognizing children's fundamental rights and climate recovery.
Looks like right now we have
So those are a few things that you can do that will help make a change.
Throughout the day, some musical
Awesome. And for those wondering about that link, it's youthvgov.org/join.
To it.
Yeah.
But
Insay, over to you.
As you can see, people around the world.
Yes, thank you so much. We need as many people as possible to join our Children's Environmental Health Movement. And there's a movement for all children, just putting children at the first of everything we do. Policy making, standard setting, everything. You can do that at our website, cehn.org. Also, this is the 5th anniversary year this year of the Children's Environmental Health Day that we launched. Again, a day of assessment, reconnection, strengthening partnerships, adding more people to our cause, and all kinds of actions for and with youth and children, and also taking action as far as proclamations. We're looking for folks, constituents, to go to your mayors and your governors and ask them to create a proclamation for children's environmental health. This becomes an engagement tool on any issue.
Okay, Dr. Mona.
Right, there is so much that you can do, and but the most important thing that I want you to take.
So there's a little look in at Earth Day Live. Sorry we can't watch more of that, but we are coming up on the top of the hour here. So a few more items of discussion here before we end. And students, if you have any questions, now would be a good time to ask them because we're coming up on the end of the show. Also, if you did not yet check in, especially for our Upward Bound and Talent Search students, make sure you drop your name in the chat, full name please, first and last, or you text it to that number, 585-301-4488, or you email it to upwardbound@ur.rochester.edu. That's for Upward Bound and for Talent Search students. You can get 15 college bound points, but we need to know that you were attending. We can't just guess on who was here. Also, feel free to give us a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe, probably a good idea so you don't miss out on the future content we'll have. Now, before we close, I would like to share some ways that you can contribute to Earth Day, not just today or on Earth Day, but actually any day of the year, what you can do to help the Earth and also to help make the Earth more livable for other people and for the animals, the plants that we share this planet with. So here are some easy suggestions of things you can do. First, unplug your charger when you're not using it. The charger, if it's plugged in, it actually draws energy even if it's not hooked up to the phone. So a good idea to unplug it when you're not using it to save energy and then reduce the pollution that comes from making that electric energy. Another thing you can do is use a power strip and turn off the power strip if you aren't using anything that is plugged into it. Number 2, turn the water off while you're brushing your teeth. According to the Glen Canyon Institute, you can save about 5 gallons of water by doing this. Right? You don't need that water running. Just turn it off while you're brushing your teeth. Number 3, bring a reusable bag with you. There's now a plastic bag ban here in New York State and other parts of the country. But even with the paper bags, even though those are recyclable, you're still probably doing less harm and conserving resources better if you just bring your own bag. Number 4, carry a reusable water bottle. How many water bottles have we given to you students? Some of you, maybe not so many, but if you've been in the program for a while, you've probably received a water bottle from us. Save it. You can use that again. And I don't just mean the little plastic ones, but actually a sturdy water bottle. Or if you don't have one, they're not too hard to get. You can use them over and over. And they're also a nice thing to have. A lot of people like personalizing the water bottles, putting stickers on there, make it your own. Finally, don't be a litter bug. And if you see some litter, pick it up. Of course, do so safely. Wear gloves, use the little garbage picker-upper claw thing. But it doesn't look good, not good for the plants, animals, having all the McDonald's bags and all the wrappers all over the place. Don't litter. Throw it in the garbage can. Or if you see some, hey, pick it up. Let's keep our neighborhoods, let's keep our city looking good. So those are our Earth Day tips for today. So we had some comments from students who have been very dedicated. Armel, Jaquan, we see you. We appreciate you. Kavon sees you. Keep it up, fellas. Love the energy. Help us get more to tune in and participate as well. I have vintage swag to pass on too. So yeah, that would be the next step. Get some other students to show up as well, and you can earn yourself even more points for doing that. But we do appreciate you. Thank you for your dedication. So last but not least, we have our assignment. In case you didn't know, we do give an assignment. It's a way for you to earn some additional college-bound points. You can earn an additional 10 college-bound points for completing this assignment, and emailing it to any academic advisor, me, Felicia, Marifer, Kavon, any of us. Here's the assignment for this week. Write 1 paragraph, 4 to 6 sentences, about whether you think COVID-19 is affecting the environment in a positive or negative way. Refer to at least 2 credible sources using the skills we talked about in today's show. This is not a huge research paper. It's just a 4 to 6 sentence paragraph. Shouldn't be too hard, but it's a way for you to earn college-bound points. It's a way for us to see who participated, to see who watched the recording but maybe couldn't attend live. They can still earn college-bound points, but this is a way for us to see that they actually watched the show and learned from it. So this helps us. It should help you. It's a good way to practice those skills and to build your skills. So it shouldn't take more than a half hour, probably much less than that. So that is your assignment for this week to our Upward Bound and Talent Search students. Once again, thank you to everyone who turned in. Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Jaquan, Emmanuel. It looked like Kieran sent something in, so thank you, Kieran, for tuning in. Just some reminders. Next week's episode is meant for 11th graders. Jordan, thank you for checking it out today. Any student is welcome any week. So 10th graders, 9th graders, 11th graders, you're welcome any week, but especially 11th graders next week. We have some good content that Gina and other staff are preparing for you. Then the week after that, May 8th, we have a 9th grade episode. May 15th, a 10th grade episode, and then we continue with that 9th, 10th, 11th rotation. Make sure you keep in touch with your academic advisor. Make sure you're checking those remind messages that we send out. If you're not getting those, let us know so we can make sure you get those. Jaquan, nice doing business with you too. And that's it. Enjoy your weekend.